all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and thanks for listening in. This is the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Happy Monday to you. Today is the 18th of January. Active coronavirus cases in India declined further over the weekend even as the vaccination drive was flagged off. The country reported just over 15,100 new cases in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. That's lower than the 17,170 patients who recovered from the virus in the same time period, taking active cases below 2.1 lakh. A total of 1.91 lakh Indian citizens received COVID-19 vaccines on the first day of the vaccination drive, according to data provided by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare on Saturday night. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain on Sunday said that some people did not turn up for the coronavirus vaccination at the last moment, adding that the government cannot ask anyone to compulsorily take the vaccine. He also said that the number of vaccination centers in Delhi would be increased from 81 to 175 soon. In the run-up to the budget, all numbers on the government's fiscal position are looked at closely. It turns out that the government's excise duty collections in the first 8 months of the current financial year have actually increased by nearly 50% to 1.96 lakh crore rupees, despite the onset of the pandemic and the chaos that it created with regard to the government's finances. That's according to the Controller General of Accounts. The increase was primarily contributed by the tax on petrol and diesel, which, as you know, was increased over the course of the year. Central excise, as things stand right now, accounts for about 40% of the price of a litre of petrol and diesel. Emerging markets need to build foreign exchange reserves as buffers against external shocks, even at the risk of being added to the U.S. Treasury Department's watch list for currency manipulation, according to Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das. His comment was made during a speech on Saturday and comes a month after the Treasury Department added India to the watch list, citing India's significant goods trade surplus with the U.S. and sustained net currency purchases through the year to June. In corporate news, creditors to Dewan Housing Finance Corporation have voted in favor of a resolution plan submitted by the Piramal Group. The Piramal Group beat Oaktree Capital and the Adani Group to win the bid. The sixth round of voting on resolution plans for DHFL closed at 8 p.m. on Friday, with 93.5% of creditors voting in favor of the Piramal Group. Competing bidder Oaktree Capital Management managed to get only 45% of the votes. Taking that story further a little, those holding fixed deposits at Dewan Housing Finance Corporation will take a steep haircut on their savings as per the resolution plan approved by the Home Financiers Committee of Creditors. You'll find more details in the story on the website bloombergquint.com. Now, WhatsApp has delayed the introduction of a new privacy policy announced earlier this month after confusion and user backlash forced the messaging service to better explain what data it collects and how it shares that information with its parent company. WhatsApp had asked users to agree to the new privacy policy by the 8th of February, but has pushed that deadline to the 15th of May while it further explains the changes. In international markets, all three early risers in the Asia-Pacific region have started lower in trade, and US indices futures are pointing to a negative start to the week. And with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Hormuz. How are we looking this Monday morning?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to those tuned in as well. I'll cut straight to the chase today, as we all know what transpired in the markets last week. There are lots of stocks that I have for you today, and I'll start off with Hdfc Bank. India's largest private lender's net interest income and net profit was ahead of consensus estimates, while asset quality remained steady for the third quarter. Provisions declined sequentially but rose from the same period last year. Pro forma gross and net NPA, had the bank classified certain accounts as NPA, would have been 1.38% and 0.4% respectively. The bank's subsidiary HDB Financial reported a net loss for the quarter as bad loans saw an uptick. Most brokerages, though, have raised their price targets on the bank, citing a stronger growth outlook. L&T Finance Holdings saw its highest quarterly disbursement in the farm equipment and two-wheeler finance since FY17. Collections too were higher as compared to the previous quarter. Net interest income was ahead of consensus estimates, while net profit was below. Asset quality was stable. Provision coverage ratio rose from 57% last year to 64%. Shoppers Stop's net loss widened in the December quarter, while margins saw a contraction as well. However, the loss was lower than estimated. On the positive side, the company said that conversion and memo sizes continued to be higher than last year, while sales growth of the omni-channel was triple as compared to the previous year. It also repaid debt worth 125 crore rupees from the rights issue proceeds, turning into a debt-free company once again. Some strong results from Apollo Pipes. Net profit and EBITDA more than doubled from last year, as did margins, which stood at nearly 20% from 10.5% last year. Volume growth for the quarter stood at 7%. It said that planned capacity additions will boost sales momentum going forward, and it is on track to commission the greenfield facility at Raipur by March of 2021. Some important non-index names reporting results today include IndiaMart Intermesh, IRB Infra, Mindtree, Rallis India, Snowman Logistics, and Indiabulls Real Estate. Aside of earnings, Metropolis Healthcare will expand its presence in the southern part of the country by acquiring 100% equity of Dr. Ganesan's high-tech diagnostic center. This will be done for a cash consideration of 511 crore rupees. Metropolis will also issue 4.95 lakh equity shares to the promoters of high-tech on a preferential basis. The cash consideration bit will be funded through internal accruals and debt worth up to 300 crore rupees. It is expected to complete the process over the next 3 months. Wipro has been chosen as the strategic technology services partner by Fiat Chrysler to establish its first global digital hub in Hyderabad. Wipro will source and build a talent pool of over 1,000 skilled consultants and technologists for the digital hub. Sales offer for sale for the retail investor was subscribed 5.2 times according to the DIPAM secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey, who informed of the same on social media. The non-retail portion too was subscribed over 4 times, leading to the government using the oversubscription option. Watch out for Happiest Minds Technologies, where BNP Paribas Arbitrage has acquired 0.6% stake at just over 368.5 rupees per share. The stock ended over 6.5% higher on Friday at a record high. And lastly, the IPO of Indian Railways Finance Corporation or IRFC opens for subscription today. The price band for the 4,633 crore issue has been fixed at 25 to 26 rupees per share. The company had raised close to 1,400 crore rupees from anchor investors ahead of the IPO. Early ticks on the SGX Nifty showed that the index traded 50 points lower, around the mark of 14,400. There are lots of other stocks that I want to talk to you about, but I'm running out of time. So for more, please do log in to bloombergquint.com and read our All You Need to Know copy. And with that, I wish you a safe day ahead, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great start to the week.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Pesa Vesa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.